Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it is me, Zeus, in the infamous Closet of Truth. Oh my gosh. So where have we gotten today, ladies and gentlemen? Where have we gotten? Where has Zeus? Where have I gotten as it relates to what's going on out here on social media? I tried to warn them. I tried to warn people, ladies and gentlemen. I tried to tell people, pick your battles carefully. Don't get into it. Avoid conflict at all costs. And I think I gotta cover this. Why do I gotta cover this? Because what I think, ladies and gentlemen, is some people don't understand why boundaries are drawn in the first place, right? They don't understand why boundaries are drawn in the first place. They assume that they have rights and privileges that they don't really have. And this is what's going on out here. People are making assumptions that they have privileges and rights that they don't. So, what do I mean by that? A couple of years ago, I had to learn something, and it's called expectation of authority and expectation of services. Does anyone know what that means? Greetings, peace, and locks. Expectation of authority, expectation of services. Okay? And this has a lot to do with people who have a hard time regulating themselves and controlling themselves and their emotions, right? A lot of people think because they feel something, they gotta act on that feeling, even if it's counterproductive, even if it's unhealthy. The impulse comes to act out and do things, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They're being led by their feelings. So a good example of what expectation of authority is and expectation of a service is this. Say we're in a relationship. A man comes home and, his wife is there. I'm assuming they're married, right? And he walks in the house and he says, "Where's my dinner?" Right? This is a good example of expectation of authority and expectation of services at work. Why? Hello, Mama Red Wine. Nice to see you. Long time no see. I hope all is well. So this is an example of expectation of authority and expectation of service. You think that as the man of the house, your wife should cook for you, have the house clean. So what is the service? Cooking and cleaning. The authority, what is that? Why should she have to do that? Why? Because you're a man, right? So this dynamic is at work. This is why people don't know how to show each other respect, how to respect the boundaries that are being drawn out there. I was sorely disappointed. I was. Because I try to brand myself as the person that tries to help people get rehabilitated, to reprogram their minds so that they can be, integrated with society at a better level than they were when they started, right? But every now and then, you get these characters that they got to learn the hard way, right? So what happens is they come into my live and their belief system gets challenged, okay? And what happens when most people's belief system gets challenged? They experience what I like to refer to as a fatal peril. Does anyone know? Has anyone ever heard of that? Fatal peril. A fatal peril, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when your belief system gets challenged. And not a lot of people are equipped like Zeus is to deal with that. Greetings, Geo. Nice to see you. Not a lot of people are equipped to handle fatal perils like Zeus is, okay? I'm very, very used to people challenging my belief system, and I also know how to make sure that the way I react to people challenging my belief system does not escalate and translate into me getting verbally abusive, getting physically abusive. You have to learn, ladies and gentlemen, you are in control of yourself. You are in control of your emotions, okay? Just because you feel very, very passionate about whatever it is that you believe does not give you the right to force that belief on other people. It doesn't. And you gotta demonstrate that you have self-control. Belief system and trauma are not congruent, though, i.e. domestic violence. I don't know what that means, but a lot of domestic violence situations that happen are due to the way that people believe what's going on up here. For instance, if your partner cheats on you, greetings, account closed. If your partner cheats on you, most people think that that gives them a right to be toxic, because guess what? Your partner cheated on you. That doesn't give you a right to be toxic just because your partner did something. You still got to be accountable for yourself. Okay? You get no passes in life. You have asked guest questions to explain their past. Who is sending Zeus an invite? Come on, you know Zeus can't go. I can't do battles now. I'm just getting into this. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let Zeus. You have asked guests in the past to explain their past, and sometimes they are perceived to be untruthful. I cannot get into how a person is perceived. And Organist, greetings, nice to see you. I can't get into how people are perceived. Okay, what I get into when I talk to people, and I always try to tell them, ignore the comments and just have a conversation with Zeus. All right, first rule, how you're perceived, you really can't control that. None of us can. You cannot control how people perceive you. Yeah, you're right. They get triggered easily because they haven't done the work that Zeus has done. Okay, I've done a lot of work. Hello, Brother Fred. Nice to see you. I've done a lot of work, ladies and gentlemen, to get to this position where I can comfortably, and I do mean comfortably, sit and listen to all of the stuff that's being spewed out here on this platform and other platforms, and know that at the end of the day, after everything that I've heard, I'm still myself. I'm still true to myself. People say things, and I understand why they say them now, right? Because they truly believe it, okay? And I also know that if you challenge what someone believes, they're not always equipped to deal with that, okay? You got to think to yourself like, wow, what does that mean? What does Zeus mean? If I tell you, okay, some sort of information that is outside of everything you've prepared for, right? A lot of people try to be on guard. They try to guard themselves from damage, right? They don't want things out there to get to them, get to their ego. You know, they're trying to protect their egos. They're trying to save themselves, right? They go to the gym and they lift weights. They do all these things. Wow, by the way, I kind of enjoy doing that. What's going on, Brother DJ? Nice to see you. They go out here and they do their darndest to try to protect themselves, to try to insulate themselves and become very, very strong, okay? And they want to be so strong that nothing can break them, right? But then you put them out here in the real world and you let the world test them and they crumble. And why is that? Why is it that they crumble? Because what you were doing was you were just practicing for everything you knew about. You were only practicing for everything you knew about. You weren't practicing for the unknown. Part of practicing for the unknown is you got to be willing to adapt. You got to be quick to adapt. Hello, the beautiful Nicole is here. Yeah, you got to be willing to adapt to your environments. Adapt to your surroundings. Because the quicker you can learn to adapt, the easier the change is going to be. See, you can't go around and tell the sun to stop shining. You can't go around and tell the clouds to stop pouring rain or to pour rain. You can't change the weather. The best thing you can do is learn how to adapt to your environment, folks. Okay? So all of this expectation of authority, expectation of services, all of this, yes, thank you so much. I'm trying my best. All of this, I can't be taught anything brand new, is coming to a screeching halt. for everybody. I'm bringing the hammer down once again. If I had to learn, listen, you cannot try harder than the people before you have tried to be the strongest person on this planet. You can't, because you're going to fail just like they did. It's an impossible thing to accomplish. It's very impossible. So learn from your environment. Understand that, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to change. Huh? Maybe it's time for you to change at some point in your life. Have you ever thought about that? And my next question is, if you haven't thought about it, then the question becomes, when do you think it's time for you to change? Yeah. You know why I'm going off on this? Because unfortunately, and people don't want me to say it, but I'll say it. We had to boot somebody. We had to block somebody again. And you know, Zeus's Live, if you get blocked from Zeus's Live, you really have to cross the lines. You really do. Okay? And it's been weighing on Zeus's consciousness because, you know, I want to make sure the rehabilitation work gets done. But in certain cases, Mixed, you're here. Wow, Mixed, nice to see you. In certain cases, if I'm not blocked, how did this happen? Well, I'll tell you how it happened, because they were not willing to take feedback. Hello, Mixed. Yes, it is I. He is I and I is him. Yes. Hello, how are you doing? They were not willing to take feedback from the family, from the TikTok family, right? And worst of all, they weren't willing to take it from Zeus. And this is why I've said you gotta be careful about what battles you're picking and choosing to fight out here, folks. You have to, you've been dealing with so much, haven't been on here for a while. Well, I hope all is well. You know, I still have been up here creating my shows, doing my things. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm doing all right. I'm still standing in the gap, bringing the hammer of truth down, setting the captive free in the closet of truth. I still do my morning shows, by the way. Yes, I hope you're doing okay, by the way. So yes, I brand myself on trying to help people get rehabilitated, okay, see the errors of their ways. And some people actually do come around and start to understand. Why? Because they're doing the work. I'm not forcing these people to make changes. I'm drawing boundaries and I'm enforcing them. That's it. Okay. And I'm also growing as a person as well. Right. So, you know, I get that this is what's happening, but it always perplexes my mind. What do I need to prank? Haha, low key. I don't know what you're talking about, Gio. Cut it out. It always gets to me a little bit when I end up in these situations with people where I'm trying to help them really see a perspective beyond what they see. And instead of them having an open heart and an open mind, they take it personal and they stomp out. Your loss. All I'm going to say is it's truly your loss. But I hope they think it over a little bit and reflect on how it got here, how it got to this point. Because Zeus didn't come looking for you. You came looking for Zeus. Where's my thunder strike at? I didn't come looking for you. You came looking for Zeus. And you found him. Are you surprised? Are you shocked? Are you shocked? Wait a second. Who is the most handsome? Have an open mind for me being the most handsome. Who is this account? I would not respond to this account. This account, to me, is a treasonous account. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out for this account, right? They just want to come in here. And again, I get it. I'm really starting to get it. So what they're doing, hello from the Philippines. Hey, Shar, nice to see you. What they're doing is they're looking, it's Thunder Lips. I thought it was Poker Dad, but it's not Poker Dad, so they say. And I don't think it's Thunder Lips because this account was in the box. I'm not being disrespectful. Your name is disrespectful. Can you change your name? because I don't know how to mix the handsome and the number 69 together. I don't know what that's about. I'm expressing myself. For some reason, I'm uncomfortable with how you're expressing yourself. So I'm going to need you to change your name. Moderators, surround him or her, whoever it is. Surround them. Because I'm not going to openly allow myself to be trolled. If you're going to troll Zeus, you got to be a lot more clever than that. But to get in my face and prance around in Zeus's live with such a title, I don't know how I feel about that. All right, so back on topic, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I have a zero tolerance policy in place right now, ladies and gentlemen. Due to the gravity of everything that's going on with Zeus, I just can't deal with it. I just refuse to deal with it. Okay? So if you can't come in here like you got some sense, like you got some home training, then I'm just gonna, do all that I can to make sure you get the support and help you need. But you can't get that help here. You can't. I know you mean well, but I have a zero tolerance policy for that. Off with his head, exactly, Nicole. Off with them. Okay? Now, thank you for the likes, by the way. Thank you for the likes, by the way. So we're talking about expectation of authority, expectation of services. And you can say whatever you want to say. You can say Zeus is a vain person. You can say he's very egotistical. You can say he's into himself all the time. I've heard all of that stuff before, and it's not true. None of it is true. None of that stuff is true. Just because you can't have your way with me does not mean I'm whatever you want to imagine me to be. No, like I said before, and I'll say it again, I did not come looking for you. You came looking for Zeus. So understand who's really bothering who around here. Okay? And that's to everybody that likes to come into my live and act as if they are the victim of whatever it is that I've done. By the way, shout out to that video right now that's on my page that's doing good numbers. Yeah. Yeah, you saw it. Yeah. Have your way with me. I don't know what that is. Accounts closed. I don't know. But the young woman, the couple that's dancing in the video, and the one that's holding their hands back, shaking their head like no. Okay. And I asked a question. I said, is this acceptable or not? Is it acceptable for you to force somebody to dance with you that doesn't want to dance with you? And the verdict is in. For the most part, most people are saying no. Now, some people are a little on the freaky side and they think it is acceptable. To those people, let me remind you, we are in 2022 and it's not acceptable. You cannot force anyone to do anything with you. It's their body. That was the point I made when I posted that video. It's their body, joke or not. You shouldn't have to try to force somebody to do something with their body they don't want to do. No title that you hold gives you such power. Okay? None. Okay? I don't care if you're male or female. I really don't. I'm encouraging. Yes, consent must be enthusiastic. That is so funny. That is so funny. Can someone give you consent and then take it back? That's the question. Can someone give you consent and then take it back? Okay. The answer is yes, by the way. Okay. The answer is yes. Someone can give you consent and then take it back. Okay. And this is the times we're living in, folks. This is the times. This is why they're like Zeus. Why won't you I was in a live the other day. I don't know who they were, but they were talking to me about when you're a parent, you will understand. I really dislike when people tell me that in order for me to comprehend and understand what they're going through, I gotta be in their shoes. No, I don't. Let me make that crystal clear. I don't need to do drugs, for instance, to understand it's a bad idea. Do I? Come on. These people can't get to Zeus. They can't get to me, so they try to go around me. They can't get to me, so they try to go around me and throw me in the trick basket and have me believe in something that has nothing to do with what I was originally talking about. Nice try. I try to tell people, listen, if you want to know about how I got my game, how I can swim around sharks and not get bitten, how I can talk to beautiful women all over the world and not end up being compromised. If you want to know how, the answer is very simple. I had one of the baddest women teach me everything I needed to know, and that woman is my mother. Oh, wasn't nothing slipping through her household. Wasn't nothing going down without her consent, her approval, or nothing. Oh, she made sure I learned very, very well all of the tricks. If you want to talk about manipulation, she was the first one. She was the first one talking about manipulating people. I seen what she did, not just to me. I seen what she did with all the men in the family. Oh, she was good. Okay? So that's why people can't get past Zeus. What you think? I got to this. I tell people all the time, you think I got here being a fool? Come on, folks. Come on. You think Zeus got here being a fool? Don't let the smooth looks fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let the charm that I display out here get you to start thinking that Zeus has no clue what's going on out here. No! Ladies and gentlemen, I smile at some of the antics that I see people do. And I smile and I say, that ain't gonna work. Will we ever meet her? Do you want to meet her? I don't know about that. She might spill the beans. Hey, she might start talking. You actually might see Zeus a little concerned about things. But no, I have no plans of introducing you to the woman that gave birth to me. Just know she did an excellent job, an amazing job, in making sure that I was not no sucker out here when it came to being who I am. You would love to see her. Yeah. I would love to listen. Sometimes what not to do is the best lesson. My mom was the same kind of teacher. Exactly, Nicole. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would love to see the woman who gave me the insight and the perspective that I have now. Now, she's not the only woman, right? I have her sisters. Oh, these are some of the baddest women on the planet. I've seen them. I've seen them do things to men that I vowed to myself, under no condition I would allow this to ever happen to me. I'll give you an example of one of the things. This is when I said, yeah, for all the men out there, this is when I made the decision, like, you know what? I am never going to allow myself to depend on a woman financially. This story, it still keeps me up at night. This story, I was living with my aunt, my mom's sister, and keep in mind, they are like tag team partners in the wrestling match. I've seen them destroy men's confidence. They destroyed their confidence so easily. And I was amazed at how much power they had, that I said, I will not allow that to happen to me under no condition. And I said, I'm going to work my you-know-what off here on out, because I never want to be in this position. Okay? So this is what happened. Oh, I got a little bit of time left, so I might as well tell the story. I know you all love story time from Zeus. So I was living with my aunt and her ex-boyfriend at the time. He was going through hard times and needed a place to stay. Okay? How many of you have gone through hard times and ended up in a situation like this? I was staying there, and I had the perspective of the nephew that got to witness how my aunt and this individual interacted. Well, first thing was you have to come in and, we're going to have a meeting about house rules and things like that. And you're going to have to take on some of the burden of the household, right? Fine. I think that's fair. No one should be no one should be living off of anyone for free, because then it starts to look like you're taking advantage of someone. So we all had a mutual understanding about what was acceptable and what was not acceptable. But I'll never forget this day. My aunt got off work one day. Yeah, she got off work one day, and I think she must have had a bad day at work. And he was in the house, okay? He was in the house, okay, watching TV. She comes in, and she's like, I smell smoke. She knows good and well Zeus does not smoke. So the only person in the house that smokes is this person, right? So she tells him, do you smell smoke? He tells her, no, I don't smell any smoke. She asks me, do I smell smoke? Well, what do you think my answer is? Well, maybe there might be some smoke. I got allergies. I don't know. I'm not getting in the middle of that. But she went ahead and said, I smell smoke. A big argument ensued, right? So she says, get out of my house. And the look on his face was like, are you serious? And she was irate. Get out of my house until you get that smell of smoke off of you. And he was pleading, please don't make me do this. Because he wanted to, keep his ego intact. He was trying to make, and I was like, listen, if just get it over with. So he had to go outside and stand for 15 minutes because she said he smelled like smoke when he hadn't been smoking. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, she went into the house, got a can of Febreze. Okay, you know what Febreze is? The air freshener. And she sprayed him with the can of Febreze right in front of Zeus. And I said, oh, wow. Now that's just too much power. That's just too much power. And I vowed to myself, I said, oh no, Zeus, God of sky and thunder, being Febrezed over allegations of smelling like smoke? Mental note to Zeus, under no circumstances allow yourself to be in that situation ever. I'll take my chances on the streets, folks. Seriously. So, why is that funny? This really did happen. It traumatized me. Listen, it still gives me nightmares to this day. It gives Zeus nightmare. I will never. No. And everybody that I've known, especially people that I've dated, they know where I stand. Like, no, he's going to prioritize having his businesses going. He's not slouching because this he's never going to be that guy that can I stay with you? Can I stay with you while I'm going through hard times? Never gonna happen. Sorry. So yeah, people, you have a problem with Zeus being the way he is. It's an arm crawling memory. Yeah. You have an issue with Zeus being how he is. I understand, but you haven't seen the things Zeus has seen. And that's why I try to tell people, don't be confused and don't get thrown off and think that Zeus isn't on game about how nasty situations can be. Listen, these women, and I can tell you more stories like that, their whole angle was taking the power from the man. Okay? The power. That was their whole angle. How can we take the power from the man? So that's why when I hear these stories and people start saying, well, Mr. Crossing, you got to think about it. You got to see it from my perspective. All I think about is, will I be willing to stand outside on the porch and get sprayed by a can of Febreze because she's in the house tripping? Heck, because she had a bad day at work. And the answer is no. I'm not doing it. Sorry. And I don't advise anyone to subject themselves to that. So the best thing you can do, ladies and gentlemen, is to take care of your business. Greetings, Brother Ty. Greetings, Brother Ty. Listen, I've seen so many of these stories where women are trying to take the power from the men. And what ends up being the issue, though, is when the women fail at taking the power. When they fail, then it becomes, oh, men are this, men are that. No, those are for the men that you tried to get the power from and you were unsuccessful. But if you've seen what I've seen, where women have actually emasculated, they've emasculated these men, they've neutered them, so to speak. Yeah. It's a savage world. They go after, listen, it's just like this. It's highway robbery, to be quite honest. He's going to give it up. He had to give it up because he needed a place to stay. So never put yourself in a position, folks. Hey, Jewel, never put yourself in a position where you fully have to rely on someone else, because they will go after everything they can to humiliate you, because that's how they get off. Is my mom like that? Come on. Yeah, Zeus, did he smoke in? No, he didn't smoke in the house. He's not crazy. He wasn't crazy. He didn't smoke in the house. Now, but that was her mind telling her that's what he did. Oh, and she could have just had a bad day at work. But some people get off on humiliating people. And I truly believe, I see that spirit. I see that spirit with 20/20 vision. Okay, if you're not trying to cooperate with Zeus, then you're out to get the power. And guess what? It's a done deal. If you're not trying to cooperate with me, I already know where this is going. This is going into some sneaky, conniving mischief going on. You're going to start creating situations. You're going to start trying to form alliances with people that you think you can align with. And then guess what? You're going to present yourself usually as a victim. Oh my God. Look at what he's doing. He's out of control. That's how you're going to present yourself, so that they can go, yeah, you're right, girl. Yeah, you're right. He is a problem. And then you can somehow make me look like something I'm not. And boom, bada bing, bada boom, it's a done deal. A question was asked, did my mom do what she said? What was the question? Did my mom want to go after men and their power? Absolutely. Absolutely. Why do you think I'm so protective of myself at this point? A lot of people think I'm making up stuff when I talk, but then they start to find out no, he really is like that. Zeus really is on top of his situations at that level. And he's learned the ways of what these women are capable of doing, trying to set them up. What do they got to offer me, right? For instance, am I going to go to a female's house uninvited? Absolutely not. Do I even want to stay the night at this point? Absolutely not. Why? Well, I've seen what goes on. Listen, all of my cousins and uncles are in some way, shape, or form bound by the law with a child support order. What you mean? Oh yeah, that hit our family too, those child support orders. Oh yeah, that does a number. That did a number. You know what my mom used to tell me? She would just tell me straight up, don't let anybody just lay down with you. Okay? Just pretend like they are scratching and doing all this stuff when you see them, son. That way you don't get caught up with them, because they ain't up to nothing. They are not up to nothing. That's what she taught me. And she used to give me real encounters, real stories about what was going on. She'd point out people and explain to me what's been going on. Okay? You can't trust nobody out here. People are only looking out for themselves. And if they try to say, now, there are some good people. There are some good people, but they're very rare. You got to vet them. You got to have a good vetting process, right? My mom used to say, bring whoever you're interested in, being serious with, bring them to me so I can get to know them, so I can talk to them. Because she's gonna drop. Oh my gosh. Did I tell you about the time when I thought I was dating? She brought the girl. I brought the girl over. Poor lady. And I've never seen my mom do this move to me. Okay. What did I call this move? This is what I call divide and conquer. Yeah. She divided and conquered. I was the man in the relationship up until when that woman met my mother. Oh. She heard about her, and she didn't even ask me. This is how cold it was. She didn't even ask me about who I was dating. It was a surprise attack. Because she said, I told you don't be dating. Number one. So she ain't gonna tell me that she's on the up about what's going on. So I thought I was gonna surprise her and be like, listen, oh, who's that right there? Oh yeah, you know, that's somebody I'm into. You know what she did? She went in, she seen her, and she didn't even look at her. She didn't even look at it. She went straight to me. She went straight to me. And that woman, listen, most women when they're dating and they think they're gonna meet their significant or their partner's mother or father, they do things to try to feel special, right? And they want to put on a good show. But the way that my mom beelined right past her, listen, she didn't even acknowledge her. Boom! That was the first shoe to drop, right? Because now I'm on the defensive, like, wait a minute. Now she's feeling a certain type of way because my mom's not even acknowledging her. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Oh, I should have known it. I shouldn't even went there. I shouldn't even went there and tried this trick. I should have been way more calculated about how I did this, okay? So, long story short, okay? Long story short. Oh, Jesus, I got to get out of here. Long story short. So, she comes in and she introduced, my mom says hi to me and, and my relatives were there also at the time, right? And she says hi to them and everything. And eventually she comes up to me and she made sure I was right next to the woman I was with. And she said, so who is this? And before I could even get the answer out, she said, are you letting my son drop seed in you? Oh, what does that mean? And she was thrown off because then she went as far as to just say, because I didn't told my son, if he's letting anybody drop seed in them, then that makes them an HOE. And she told her that to her face. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to be honest with you. That was not a car ride home that was peaceful. She was crying. I was trying to explain to her that's how my mom is. It didn't go over well, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I call the divide and conquer strategy. That situation let me understand very clearly just where my mom's mind goes and how she sees situations. You know what I'm saying? And, I was powerless the entire time. I never felt so powerless in my life. I never felt so powerless because there was nothing I could say to help ease that situation. Because if I stuck up for what my mom said, I was in trouble. Okay? I was in trouble either way. So, that's just like a little bit of the tip of the iceberg in terms of how my mom gets down. Now, she's calmed down over the years. She's calmed down a lot. But this is the energy she was on. This is what she put into Zeus. This is why Zeus, ladies and gentlemen, isn't falling for the okie dokes. This is why they say, well, listen, Zeus, you should try to have a little bit more of a heart. Listen, it's not, you know what I'll say? It's not you. It's me. It's not you, it's me. You can't bring home every stray cat. Cut it out, Peace and Locks. I did not see her as a stray cat. I saw her as, at the time, my girlfriend, okay? Now, obviously, we're not together and people have gone on to do other things. But the point my mom was trying to make to me was she does not want to meet people that I'm just dating. She only wanted to meet the person that I'm bringing home to be my wife, okay? And that day, from that day forward, that's never happened again. I would never subject anyone else to that. When you know people are the way that they are, just leave them alone. Like I said earlier in my video, you got to pick your battles. I'm not going to get into a discussion with my mom about none of the stuff that she's that passionate about. Not going to happen. Okay. And I'm not going to bring anybody else to get subjected to that treatment. And it's done a number. It's done a number because a lot of people, women who've dated me and they're like, can I meet your mom? And I'll be like, probably not a good idea. They take it personal. They're like, oh, You must got something to hide. Yeah, I do got something to hide, but it ain't what you think it is. It ain't what you think it is. You think you're crazy. You think you're crazy. Oh no, you have not seen. And listen, all of my siblings got stories similar to this. She didn't just say, "Oh, I'm going to do this just for him." No, this is how she really gets down. Her brothers will tell you this. Okay, so I hope when I told you the story between what my aunt did and what she did and how and the community, right? The community of relatives that I was raised by. I hope that gives you, seriously, perspective to consider. And hopefully you are in a way better situation where you can actually be more appreciative of what you do have. Okay? Gangnam, nice to see. Because a lot of us come from that. A lot of us do come from that. I'm not gonna let you get me. No. And here's why. A lot of us come from that. So, is it toxic? Maybe. Maybe it is toxic, but guess what? It's real. Okay? She has seen her brothers and sisters, not her sisters, right? She knows what she's done to men, and she's seen what other women have done to the men in our family. So the angle she's playing is, I got to try to protect my sons from other women that are out here doing this. So that's the angle. And you got to live in that reality if you want to survive. Thank God, ladies and gentlemen, Zeus does not currently have any kids, okay, that I would be in such a situation like that where, I might be, on that side of the fence. Smart but tough. Exactly. So that's why I try to be more of a beacon of light out here. Now, there are things that I fundamentally agree with my mother about, and not just me. I think a lot of the people in our family do disagree, but we're not going to waste time. We're done. We're not going to waste time. Lesson learned. I'm going to make sure I handle my business so that I don't end up in a situation where I have to really depend on somebody for my survival. I mean, it's good to have friends around. It's good to have, good relationship with family members and things like that. But I'm also aware that, at any given moment, if I allow someone to have a little bit of extra power over me and what I do, things could go south really fast. So that's why I work as hard as I do. In terms of my tolerance levels for craziness, I probably have an unusually high level of tolerance, but like I said, it's due to the stuff that I've seen and witnessed and experienced, right? A lot of people would liken it to trauma. Okay, I used to, but now I liken it to just having game. Okay, Zeus has a lot of game. Zeus understands the very, very minute details and intricacies that go on in the dynamics of a relationship. And I understand it so well that, I'm making a very, very deliberate choice about what I choose to subject myself to. It has nothing to do, most of the time, with other people. It has a lot to do with what I understand to be true. Absolutely, wingman. Come on, Gangnam Style, cut it out. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to encourage you all to do the same work that I've had to do over these years. Earlier, I was talking about belief systems and expectation of authority and services. This is where the belief system was, okay? And where I'm at now is I understand that, and I'll say this, and I've said it before, not everybody is out to get Zeus. I get it, okay? But it's taken a while. It has taken a while for me to get to this point where I'm like, well, thanks for the conversation. No problem, LP. It's taken a while for me to get to this point where I'm like, you know what? I am very, very comfortable allowing people to just be who they are. Gangnam, come on, man. I haven't even opened up a school. I have not opened up a school. I'm very, very comfortable in allowing people to be who they are and allowing them to reveal who they are before I end up jumping on them or trying to pounce on them, because I know what that also feels like, right? It didn't, to me, I feel like I understood what it felt like to have to be told to go outside and let the air cool you off, and then get sprayed with Febreze because, someone's on a power trip. I know what that feels like. Okay, that's why I tend to look out for those people. But if I'm looking out for you and you're not catching the clues and you're not picking up on the clues, then you got to go. You got to deal with the consequences of your actions. Okay, because the world is not as friendly as you're imagining it to be in most of these cases. Okay, hence why I was, making statements about certain companies and the content that they create, right? I was pointing out to people the experiences that you are going through are not always consistent with what everyone else is going through. There are always people who are getting marginalized by situations. There's always going to be those people, and you got to be able to recognize when you're interacting with those people who have been marginalized. You got to know how to deal with them. They're coming from a place of pain. They're coming from a place of trauma. Okay. And yes, you're right, Peace and Locks. You cannot save them all. You really can't. Okay. First thing I look for when I interact with somebody, I look at their work ethic. I look at people's work ethic hands down. What are you doing with your life? Then I listen to how they communicate, right? How do you process information? And the number one thing that I look for is, what do people do when their belief system gets challenged, right? If someone challenges your belief system, do you fly off? You get all upset. You start calling people names. You start trying to insult them. I'm like, yeah, this person can't be too close to Zeus. They can't be too close to me because you're a liability at this point. Okay? I might be having a bad day. I'm likely to say something you don't agree with, okay? But we got to handle ourselves like adults now. We got to be reasonable, don't we? Oh, you don't have the ability to be reasonable? You did it to yourself. Yeah, don't call Zeus. I have people right now, people I used to do business with, they're reaching out to me on social media, obviously, because they can't reach out to me in any other space. And I just don't even respond anymore. Because if they were doing the work that they needed to be doing, they wouldn't be reaching out to me. So I already know what's up. You should be out here getting to it just like I am. And if I see you, I see you. What's up? Finally, you decided to take this serious. Great. But don't reach out to Zeus and start trying to get me into your little bag of tricks. Get me to start feeling like we cool again and get back to doing what we used to do. It's just not going to happen. I don't care, male or female, anyone that knows me, don't reach out to me, especially if we ain't got nothing to talk about. We ain't talked in a minute and you ain't doing nothing. What do we got to talk about? And you got to be okay. You got to be okay doing that. And communicate effectively. Exactly, Brother Ty. Exactly. A lot of people are not communicating effectively. They're just emotionally vomiting, is what I call it. They're just spewing out how they feel. What? Okay, you're angry. Okay, great. You're happy. Okay, great. But what is that doing? What is that doing, though? Like, do you think, and this is what I try to tell people, do you think you can afford me at an hourly rate? Do you really think you can? And their mind goes, why would I pay you? And as soon as they say something like that, it's a done deal. Why would I pay you? Why would I pay you? And I'm thinking to myself, you pay everybody else. You don't mind going out there tricking off a few dollars on some nonsense. You know what I'm saying? You don't mind entertaining yourself and spending money. So all of a sudden when it comes to Zeus, you clam up and times are rough and this and that, but you want me to give you my time. Like I said, time is the most valuable resource you can ever have, right? You can make money back. You can't make time back. So If you, oh, you said I can't sing. Well, I mean, you don't have to be able to sing. Time is the most valuable resource we have. Greetings, Requiem. Okay? And if a person does not value your time, if they don't value your time, cut them off. Okay? Cut them off. Okay? And I'm sorry, it's going to make people feel uncomfortable and they're going to say, oh, you're just selfish. I wouldn't even listen to them. Tell me I'm selfish for prioritizing the things that are important in my life. Yeah, sign me up. I'll be selfish every day. Seriously. Now, I hope we all learned something today in the Closet of Truth from Zeus. The big takeaway here before I wrap this thing up and I get out of here. The big takeaway, folks. Yes, clean house. That's very, very important. But don't let people guilt trip you into lowering your standards. Yeah, cut it out. Exactly, Requiem. Cancers have to be cut out for survival. Exactly. You learned that my mom is pretty cool, Nicole. Is that really what you got? No, the lesson in that also was Zeus is not a fool and that he has been trained. Okay? He has been trained to recognize all of the manipulation tactics that are available. Okay? And while he is trained at that, he doesn't always respond to them the way that you think he should, right? But just because I'm not responding to them doesn't mean I don't see it. Oh, my mom is pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, I listen to people's stories. Yeah, I listen to people's stories. And this is, I'll say this. As many stories that I've heard people tell me about how terrible that their parents were, especially out here on TikTok. People always come up to me and they tell me that their parents were just some evil people. And I'll listen to their story, and in the back of my head, I'm chuckling. I'm laughing my you-know-what off. I'm cracking up because I'm going, you would never have survived the stuff that me and my brothers and sisters alone had to go through. Oh, I mean, especially, we didn't even get into the whoopings, okay? You want to talk about getting a whooping for cutting your pajamas because you wanted to design them like Spider-Man and you failed? You want to talk about something? Oh, yeah. And it is not so much the whooping, right? It wasn't just the fact that you got the whooping. It was your brothers and your sisters laughing at you. Then it became a game. Yeah, who could get in trouble? Who can get who in trouble? Okay, it was whooping season. Okay, and I'll say this before I get off because I'm telling too much. I remember. You want to know how cold-blooded my mom was? You want to know how cold-blooded? Because we used to get whoopings, right? She had different tiers. Right? The belt was the first tier. But then my brother, who was being a bit of an a-hole, he decided to reveal one of the tricks to the whooping with the belt to her, right? He got a whooping with the belt and started laughing. So she graduated to the extension cord, okay, and the cable, okay? Now those hurt. Those things hurt, okay? And I will never forget it. Okay? Yeah, that's why when people come in here and they tell me like, oh, my mom was so bad or my dad was so bad. And I'm like, you have no idea what was going on, okay, in boot camp where I came from. Oh, yeah, she would whoop us. And this is the part I wanted to point out. Yeah, she had tears. She was graduating. She would say this to us, especially because we were the boys, and she said we were more hard-headed, right? So she would say, I'm whooping you, not because I think this is going to make you stop. I'm whooping you because this makes me feel good. Now, I don't know about you. But I think she meant it, okay? Because she was whooping everything she could. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, but see, that used to hurt our feelings, right? But I would still say, knowing that, like, how could your brothers and your brothers and your sisters, they know that she just says this, and they would still do things to try to get you to get a whooping. That's why I said it's kind of just nasty all around. It's nasty all around. But I'll say this before I wrap this up. None of us are really that bad off. So maybe she had something. Maybe there was something to what she was doing. Problems in school. The school administrators. Other kids, they get into fights, and it'd be like, oh, they're getting suspended. And this and that. With us, every teacher that we had knew the magic words to say. We're going to call your mom. We're going to call your mom. Zeus, we're going to call your mom. And it was a game over. It was game over. Sorry, you know what I used to say? Sorry for my mistake. It'll never happen again. I promise you. Serious. Nobody wants to see that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This has been an excellent time in the Closet of Truth, right? I hope you all have learned something. Yeah, getting blocked and muted, getting muted and booted. That's a cakewalk. That's nothing compared to the real stuff that's going on out here. So keep that in mind when you're out here, okay? If somebody's telling you to just respect the boundaries, just do it. Just do it. Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It was so nice to talk to all of you. I will be back tomorrow morning. See you later. Take care. I'm out of here. Oh my gosh.